Alright guys, what's going on guys? It's DudeTheresMyTaco coming at you with some, I guess right now, some bots gameplay, but hey, don't worry, I'm not gonna be doing this for the whole video, so please don't leave, I'm not just killing bots. I'm doing this because, I guess just for the intro, but what I want to talk about in this short little intro that I'm gonna add the commentary after is my editing thing, the thing I used to edit my videos, it failed, and it didn't do my first little video, so I had to re-record the commentary. Then after I re-recorded the commentary, I watched it, and I noticed something. I was cussing a lot, like a whole lot. So I'm gonna try my best. Because I know I cuss a lot in my other videos. I'm gonna try my best to stop that. So I'm just throwing this in there at the beginning of the video to let you guys know that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't cuss all the time. I do cuss, but I guess in these videos, because it's kind of hard to focus on what I'm saying and focus on the game at the same time, I guess I don't really know, but I guess I'm using curse words as like fillers. Like just throw an extra word in there without even realizing it, I guess. So I'm gonna stop doing that just because it's a really bad habit. And so here's the commentary gameplay for you guys. Yo, and I guess I have to throw this in because it didn't. The recording thing messed up, like again. Like come on, man, come on, recording thing. And so it like cut out some of my videos. So I'm gonna throw this in there. I think I left off at saying my driving instructor was around, I guess, 60 to 70 years old, and then I was saying how taking the test cost 40 bucks, and I was driving a nice I was driving a freaking Civic. I was driving a Honda Civic, and it was pretty. It was a hybrid. It was really nice. I had to pay for it to drive it during my test, so that was pretty cool. And I think that's where I left off in the video, because it didn't record it. It messed up again. I don't feel like recording a freaking commentary for the fourth time, so I'm just gonna throw this in there. My apologies. I'll figure out what's wrong with my editor. So I'm in the driver's seat and I have like a bunch of anxiety, and I'm thinking in my head like, holy crap, holy cow, how am I gonna? Hopefully I don't fail. I felt all this anxiety and stuff, and I'm like, man, you know what? I shouldn't even be feeling this anxiety. I know how to drive. I've driven before on like more messed up cars than this one. It was a really nice Honda Civic, and by the way, I had to pay to for them to provide the car. They just did it already, and the test itself cost 40 bucks. So that's that. So I'm in the car, and I'm like, all right, I know how to drive. Let's just get this show on the road. No need to have any anxiety and stuff. So I'm driving, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna give you guys some tips throughout this video too. I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how to pass your driver's test, I guess. So the first thing you do, because you're in a parking spot, is you reverse, right? So what you want to do always is look out the back window. You don't rely on your rear view window. You look out the back window. And so most teams really don't do that much, and they fail because of that, because it takes off 20 points. That's one of the main test killers, is not looking through your back window whenever you're reversing. If you're not looking through your back window while reversing for like 5 feet, that's a fail. So I made sure I did that. I did it, obviously, just reversing, looking out the back window, and then on the first turn, I mess up. I made a wide turn on the first turn. Got points taken off for that. And then that's when my anxiety started to kick in a little bit more. And then after that, he tells me to what's it called, merge lanes, switch your lane, which I did. I did it easily. All you gotta do is check your blind spot. If traffic allows, then you merge. Then he made me go down a couple roads and stuff like that, do some turning and stuff, and I did all that all right. And then we get to this little urban neighborhood, and it's just like there's like a little empty spot on the side of the curb, and he tells me to do an upward hill park. Now, there's an upward hill park and a downward hill park. An upward hill park is where your car is facing upward, and you reverse and you turn your wheel all the way to the left. And when your wheel touch, and then as soon as your wheel touch your car wheel touches the curb, then you park and put on your emergency brake. Now, downward hill parking is where you're facing down the hill, and you go forward and you turn the wheel to the right. And as soon as your wheel touches the curb, then you stop and do the exact same thing and park and put on your emergency brake. I'm going on a nice little speed right now, but and so I got those two mixed up. I was supposed to do the upward hill parking, and I did the downward hill parking. So that is unfortunate. So I did everything wrong right there, and on top of doing the whole thing wrong, I to put a cherry on top just to make sure I failed literally everything right there. I forgot to put on my turning signal to get out of it. Yeah, I know, right? Literally, the only thing you have to do takes no skill at all. Is you have to remember to do it, and I forgot to do it. So yeah, suck to suck. But so then he makes you drive up a little bit more, and there's one car on the side of the road, and he tells me to parallel. He tells me to parallel park behind it. So I only had a parallel park behind one car, and then yeah, I guessed it. I messed every single thing up on that. So I know I messed up with one car. Come on, Taco, get it together. So I reverse behind it, and I go way too far, and then I'm not even centered, as in my car is in there all crooked and stuff, not even straight. Except for doing domination, just jump flags, pretty much. So what you want to do? What the heck? So so I messed that up, and you guessed it again, I put another cherry on top of this disaster cake, and I forgot to use my turn signal again, which all I had to do was remember, and it was done. But I didn't, so yep, Taco for you. And then after that, on that same turn that I made that wide turn on, what's it called? On that same turn that I made that wide turn on, I made another wide turn. Now come on, man. Oh, he's behind me with the freaking. Thank you for saving me. This kid had a super behind me and he wasted it. Who uses this on that gun, dude? Who uses that sight? Who uses that sight on that gun? Come on, man. That was crazy. That was insane, dude. Like it felt like I was hallucinating. So So I mess up on that turn, and I go back into the into the parking spot, and I don't mess that up. So here's what happens, and here's how I passed by messing up all that stuff. Let me tell you what happened first. What happened? So I felt confident, right, about like passing my test and stuff like that. But then he just listed everything that I failed on, and I was like, oh my gosh, did I fail? There's a pretty good chance of me failing all this stuff. And I'm passed, and I guess I have to add like I don't know, I guess I'll open up a crypto key thing while I'm talking about this, and I'll just show in the lobby, I guess, so I can finish my story, tell you guys what happens. So and he tells me I pass, and I passed by literally 2 points. And I'll tell you how I passed by messing up that many times and still being able to pass. You make sure the 2 test killers when taking your driver's test is rolling your stop signs, as in you don't come to a complete stop. That's a major test killer. I don't know how many points it takes off, but I know it takes off like a bunch. And now the big test killer is not looking through your back window for more than 5 feet while reversing. And if you do that, it takes off 20 points. And now to pass the driver's test, you have to have 75 points. And at least where I am, my location. And it takes off 20 points. So you're only left 5 points to spare to mess up on. That's all the breathing you're gonna have. So make sure you do both those things correctly, and it's gonna be a really hard time to fail the driver's test. Like, look, I messed up on so many things, and I still passed. So that's pretty cool. So oh my gosh, I have to I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play. I don't know. I'm gonna play another game and then I'll open up the cookies because there's still some things I want to add onto there. You know. Hey everybody, we're back. The editing thing messed up once again. So this time I left off saying my mom was speeding down like a street because the tag agency told me to drive to what's it called? Told me to drive to the DMV. My mom's speeding like crazy, like it's Fast and Furious. So I think that's where I left off right there. And yeah, I really gotta figure out this editing thing. And you can speed like crazy. I did not know that. I did not know that about my mother. Man, she was driving like Fast and Furious, like it was GTA. So we make it to the DMV, and we make it through all the waiting stuff because my mom was able to get there early enough before we actually able to do all this stuff. And ooh, oh, I wanted the kill. So we're in there, and then we say we needed this paper, and we told them what the paper was called and stuff like that. And how, bro? I have my super specialist. I say super a lot. I think it's because I was a Destiny player. That's what they were called. Destiny. It's called a super instead of specialist in this game. I'm just used to Destiny. So please don't get annoyed when I say that. So we make it in there and we tell them that we need this paper, and she says, what's that? Because my mom's like going through all these papers and like trying to show her all the papers we got just so to get it over with. And she said, what's that? And my mom says, I don't know, and she gives her the paper. And then this lady, the lady at the DMV, I met her like a couple other times because she's like always there. She was there when I went to go get my permit and stuff. She makes this face, like funny, like I don't know how to explain it. Like it was like a smirk, I guess. She smirked, and then she shows her friend. She says, the lady at the tag agency sent her over here to get this paper. I'll call it a DL10 because I think that's actually what it was called. She said the tag agency sent him over here to get the DL10 with a smirk on her face to her coworker. And she says, lady, this is a DL10. She said these are the new ones that the driving instructors are able to hand out now. So that whole drive, my mom's speeding and stuff, was all for a waste. All that effort. Because the lady at the tag agency messed up. But hey, man, people mess up all the time. It's not that big of a deal, you know? It's just, I don't know. It was just the way she goes. So that happened. So we kind of wasted we wasted a trip. I guess it was only 5 minutes. She was like speeding like crazy. So we go back to the tag agency. The lady at the DMV called the lady at the tag agency so she knows what she has to do. And the lady at the tag agency, she felt so bad, man. She apologized and everything. And if you apologize for your mess ups, man, I mean, it's fine. Like, you know, you messed up and stuff, and it happens. We're all human. So we finally get all this stuff, and everything kind of worked out for the best because I forgot to get my permit. Out of all things, I forget the one thing that says if I pass let me take the test and stuff like that. Yep, just like that, I got the crypto key thing. And so I forget my permit, and then she 3, 2, nah, I'm gonna wait. Hold up. So she tells me to get my permit. I'm like, oh, I forgot it. And then she says, okay, here's the deal. Because you cut me some slack, I'm gonna cut you some slack. When you get home, cut that permit. Like, I'm telling my mom to snip it, I guess. I probably shouldn't be saying this. Whatever. So she cut us some slack. So I guess it all worked out for the best because I messed up, and she was okay with it. So that was cool of her. But moral of the story is just if you cut someone some slack, they'll cut you some slack. And that's the story of how I got my restricted driver's license. And yeah, I hope you found it helpful yet entertaining. I hope I was able to help you out with some stuff there. So this has been Dude, There's My Taco, and peace.